Well, as we continue to monitor the news coming out of the U.S. and Venezuela, Canada's oil sector continues to see some question marks on whether Venezuela's crude could compete with or even displace Canadian barrels. Let's get more on this now from Kelsey Keane, Director of Equity Capital Markets at the National Bank of Canada. Kelsey, thanks as always for joining us. Happy New Year. Last time we talked was 2025. It was about 5 days ago, but welcome back. What are your thoughts on the oil companies right now, where they stand? They took that hit to start the week with everything that's unfolding in Venezuela. Are cooler heads prevailing?
Yeah, so I think, the first week into 2026, there's been a lot of news about oil, starting with, initially we were looking forward to OPEC, and now the news about what the U.S. is doing in Venezuela. I think a lot of the reaction that we're seeing in these stocks is sentiment driven. I mean, the fundamentals for Canadian oil producers are still strong.
And what gives you that confidence with them? What do you like about them?
Yeah, so when we think about Venezuela, I mean, they are also, they have a lot of reserves of heavy crude oil, and that's what Canada also produces. But when you think about the two investment landscapes, Canada is much stronger. So for those looking to put capital into an oil industry, Canada provides a lower risk market with access to global markets. And I think this is a real opportunity for our government to progress pipelines and put more investment in the industry.
And I guess, I mean, two of the big things too is proven reserves and fairly accurate proven reserves.
Exactly.
And it's mostly maintenance here, whereas down in Venezuela right now, they could be looking at a massive rebuild.
That's right. And if we look at what's been happening in Venezuela over the last 15 to 20 years, there's really been a decline in production. And we're looking at almost starting from a brand new place where Canada is much further ahead. But I think as we think longer term, we will see that production come online, and Canada really needs to think about progressing the resources that we have here.
And will there be demand for it the magical pipeline that everybody is, well, maybe not everybody is hoping and dreaming for, but a lot of people says needs to be built to the West Coast. Will there be demand for it? The argument has been that maybe there isn't the demand, but if we build it, will we see people coming then?
Yes, I believe so. And a lot of those exports are expected to go to Asia. And I think that also touches on another really important point here for Canadians' oil industry, is that we should be looking at diversifying our outputs or our exports. Mm-hmm. So looking beyond the U.S. To sell our resources.
And now, one of the things, I guess, a lot of the oil in Venezuela was going to China. Some of it looks like still will go there now.
Yeah.
But some of the ghost ships that was maybe going to China. Could we see Canada replace Venezuela now that maybe the U.S. is looking at Venezuela favorably? Could China be our replacement for the U.S.?
I think there's an opportunity there. And I mean, Kearney's in China now. Mm-hmm. So I think, there's still a lot up in the air in terms of what's going to happen. But I think we should be looking at all opportunities.
And then just price overall for everything. Where do you see it going over the next year? You're going to put some magic ball in front of you. Here we go. Let's see.
I mean,
it's down, but a lot of them are down. But
when you say a year, that's a really long way away. Because
but what's the general direction? You're confident in it, so obviously. But oil prices, it looks like, will remain where they're at right now for the next year or for around here, I'm guessing.
I think so, and I think we're still going to see fluctuations in the near term, just because every day there's a new development. And though I think that there's an underlying confidence in the Canadian industry, I think we have to see some more risk on go back into the sector.
Okay, and then let's make a swing over to copper. The metals have been an interesting place. Copper, gold is the sexy one. Silver's been the crazy one right now, going up and down, and copper just kind of keeps going up and up. What's going on there? I mean, it was a bit of a hoarding down in the States, but are we going to see that continue?
Yeah, so a lot of this came on the back of the news about tariffs and depleting of inventories. I think there's a broader development of electrification and industries there. So I think all of that is feeding into copper prices. It hit record highs. Mm-hmm. It came off a little bit, but I think there's still underlying strength there, and we'll continue to see some strength given those fundamentals.
And also some challenges on the other end, developing mines right now. And there's also been the strike down in Chile.
That's right. Yeah. So, there's always, when we think about commodities, we have to think about both the supply and the demand. So obviously we're seeing strong demand, and we just got to make sure that there's proper supply.
And any concerns with that, with the supply right now, trying to bring new mines on? And
I think, I think it's too hard to say right now, but I think that there is a focus, on producing resources, given a strengthening economy, given everything that's happening around trade. So I believe that governments globally will be putting a lot of resources into it.
Okay, and just one other direction we're going to go here, just talking about IPOs and investments. You're expecting to see those jump up this year.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Canada's set for a rebound of the Canadian IPO market. And for anyone who's been following knows that's a long time coming. So we're excited to see that. There's a growing pipeline of Canadian issuers looking to list on the TSX. Broader equity markets have shown strength. And there were a couple IPOs in 2025 that were successfully done. So I think that is putting us in a good position to go forward into 2026 and see some new companies list.
Any particular sector is going to be stronger than others when it comes to IPOs?
I think we're looking broadly across all sectors. I think thematically there's a lot of strength within industrials. Obviously, we're seeing strength in defense today and yesterday. There's obviously the AI thematic. Resources, energy right now, a bit of fluctuations, but obviously in materials, there's a lot of strength. And I think just broadly, investors are looking to deploy capital. So any company that's been showing strong, stable growth and earnings is well positioned to go public.
Okay, we're going to have to leave it there, but Kelsey, thank you as always for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Roger.
And that was Kelsey Keane, Director of Equity Capital Markets at National Bank of Canada.